everybody, and welcome to a new video, and a little bit different this time from my lock-up show. What happened was, recently I've watched a video by The Last Gamer. Don't know if any of you have heard of him. He's a massive collector. He lives in Australia. He's got an absolutely fantastic games room. Well, I say games room, it's like a series of games room. Anyway, on one of his episodes, he actually covered pronunciations of like games or developers or anything gaming related. And it's funny because, you know, many a time certain words have cropped up and there's always been a little debate on how things are pronounced. And I've got a list here and we're going to go through them. Tell me, you know, in the comments how you'd pronounce them. If you want to do it, even go as far as to do a VR, a video response video, go for it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the name up or how it's spelt on the screen, and then I'm going to tell you how I pronounce them, possibly the correct pronunciation, and maybe what other variations there is. Now, just as The Last Gamer said, there's no right way or wrong way really. Everybody's got their own way of saying things, and you know, at the end of the day, that's how we say them. Now I'm going to kick off with, I think there's only myself that's ever pronounced it this way, but yeah, here it is on screen. Yeah, Shenmue. And I've always said Shenmue. Everybody's corrected me on it, and I've not heard another single person say it another way. I believe it's pronounced Shenmue. Some may even say that. Shenmue. But yeah, I say Shenmue. I don't know why I pronounce I emphasise the E on the end. I just always have. And I've even thought to myself, why did I start saying it? Maybe the only thing I can think of is maybe to make it sound more Japanese-like, if that is even how a Japanese person would say it. Shenmue. But that's how I say it. Let me know how you say it, though I dare say nobody's going to say it's the same way as me. Next we've got so I'd say this is one of the Eddie's favourites. This one and the next one certainly. And I think I've heard a few different iterations of how this is pronounced. I say Taito. I believe Eddie says something like Taito maybe. There is other variations. Taito. So Taito. I don't know. There's probably ways, you know, different little slight variations in the way it's pronounced. I say Taito. I have heard other people say Taito as well, but I think there's only Eddie I've heard say Taito. But anyway, like I said, I'm not really certain on how that is correctly pronounced, but that's how I say it. Next we've got another one of Eddie's favourites, and he's always correcting people on it, and it is so yeah, I mean, I would say Tate Mode. Apparently the way Eddie says it and the correct way of saying it is Tate Mode. I don't know. Tate Mode or Tate Mode is basically turning your screen upright so that horizontal shooters or vertical shooters look better. And yeah, I could never pronounce it any other way than Tate Mode. There's probably other ways of saying it. Let me know what you think. Next we've got now it's not really a game I'm familiar with. I do know there is a version on the Master System, and yeah, I mean it's basically two letters But I suppose there's two ways of saying it: wise or ease. Or you could even probably say just YS. And as far as I know, there is an apostrophe between the Y and the S, making it plural. So I would either say it's ease or wise. Chances are it's ease. But I say wise just purely based on how it is. It's just two letters, Y, S, wise. Next we've got so I've been saying, and I know a lot of people have been saying this wrong for a long time. I obviously say Deus Ex. Apparently it's probably Deus Ex. Maybe the E and the X are pronounced separately. It's a game. I've never played it. I have heard of it. But yeah, I would say Deus Ex. Yeah, probably just on how the EU and S are put together. Juice. I don't know. Sounds very French. Next, well, we've got one here that separates probably the old community, and it is our old faithful Sega. And yeah, a lot of you will say Sega and adamantly say that you are correct. I beg to differ. Now, I've said Sega all my life, and a lot of people around here anyway, I know have said Sega. Retro Red Steve says Sega, and the Last Gamer says Sega as well, and he actually got in contact with Sega, and apparently they've confirmed it is that. I know it sounds like Sega on the loading screen for the Mega Drive games, but he's had it confirmed by Sega. It's Sega. So there's no arguments no more. I've told you what it is, and you can now stop saying Sega. It's Sega. Next we go on to another French developer, and it is so there's only really two ways of saying this. You either say it as Ubisoft or Ubisoft, and it's all on the emphasis of the U. To be honest, I think it depends what mood I'm in, really, how I say it. I know I have said it both variations. Sometimes I'll say Ubisoft, sometimes I'll say Ubisoft. I haven't really got into a routine of one particular pronunciation for that. Next we've got again I would say it just it's pronounced as it's spelled, Ninja Gaiden, 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 but apparently it's Ninja Gaiden. Probably some may say Gaiden, I don't know, but yeah, that's how I'd say it. Gaiden, Ninja Gaiden. It's just easier to say in my opinion, Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden, no easier really, but it just sounds right to me. And the next one is going to separate half the community as well, I reckon, and it is Galaga. Now, on the last game, they did say the correct pronunciation is Galaga, as you know, Galaga, as in the beer. But I've always said it just as it is, Galaga. I'm not sure if there's another way of pronouncing that, but yeah, I reckon that's quite a split with people. And let's go on to the next one, which is only recently just cropped up, and I was talking to Retro Bear the other day, and he picked up on it, and it's this. Lumines. Now that is how I would say it, Lumines. There's Lumines, possibly Lumines. But yeah, I would say Lumines. 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 So sometimes you can even, you know, expand on it and change it yourself. But yeah, that's a good one. I'm sure that'll split people on how it's pronounced. The next one, again, this one has several versions of how it can be pronounced, and it is Pokemon. That's how I'd say it. Pokemon. I have heard Pokemon and Pokemon. But I would just say Pokemon. There might even be Pokemon, with, you know, kind of taking out the E. Pokemon. But yeah, I would say Pokemon. And next we move on to a well-known 8-bit, well certainly 16-bit developer, or publisher I should say. And this one, as far as I know really, there's probably two ways of saying this. I've never heard this other version, which I'll shortly tell you about, but they mentioned it on the last Gamer, and they said that was really the correct way of spelling it, or saying it I should say, but I've never heard it that way. Anyway, it is so Psygnosis. That is how I would say it, Psygnosis. That's how I've always said it. And it was only recently, like I said, I've never heard it pronounced the other way, which is Psygnosis. Now Psygnosis probably would make sense if you split it. PSY, the psycho, and you know, I believe gnosis with a silent G is another word meaning something else. So in a way it would make sense that it is Psygnosis. But I could never start pronouncing it that way. To me it's Psygnosis, and it always has been and always will be. And next we're moving on to, we're going back to 8-bit. With this one, I've never really heard it called anything else, and the people I have asked to pronounce it have pronounced it exactly the same way I would. I just thought I'd throw it in there because, I don't know, perhaps you would, maybe some of you would pronounce it differently, and it is so this was a popular shooter from the Commodore 64 by Thalamus, and I would say Sanxion. But I suppose some people could say Sanxion, Sanxion maybe, or they could even have their own way of, you know, pronouncing or not pronouncing the X. But I have always said Sanxion, and again, like I said, the few people I have asked have said it exactly how I would have done. But yeah, I'm just interested more than anything to see if anybody would pronounce that differently. Next, or second to last, we have got another developer publisher, and this one, I think it's a UK company, and it is so I would say Eidos, and I dare say some people could pronounce it Eidos, depending on how you pronounce the E and I to the D. Eidos. But yeah, I would say Eidos, and I think I have heard people say it exactly the same way. But yeah, perhaps you'll say it the other way. Whether there's another way of pronouncing it, I don't know. And that leaves us to the last one, which it's more of, I think it's more of a regional accent way of pronouncing this. I'll show you what it is. Yeah, it is. It's the Master System. Master System. There's no R between the A and the S in Master. It's not Mars. Master System. Wraith Retro 1 and Griffo are the main culprits for this Master System. There's no R. It's Master System. And it's funny because when I went to college for my painting, a few years ago now, in Bradford, everybody used to pronounce plaster as plaster. And it used to get out, I used to say, what are you saying that for? I'm like, that's how you say it, I was saying it ain't. Same kind of principle. It used to drive me mad, and there were only me said plaster. But yeah, Master System. There's no R in it, it's not Mars. So from now on, Nathan Griffo, please pronounce it the correct way. That is it, and hopefully you've enjoyed that. Hopefully it hasn't gone on too long. And yeah, if you want to do a VR to it, go ahead. Probably might be easier to do that than comment on every single one and how you pronounce it. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a bit of fun. Like I said, I took the inspiration from The Last Gamer, so I pinched his idea basically. But yeah, I just thought it'd be a bit of fun. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, and until the next video, whatever it may be, take care and see you later.